What's up, everybody? Doc 1985. There's levels to this. We're gonna get straight to the point. StarField running at 30 frames per second is not okay. Stop pretending like it is. It's not okay. It's a disgrace. It's laughable. It's expected though. And that is the problem. It's that it's expected. When they were talking about StarField, I remember being on different podcasts. I remember making videos. And I remember that there was never a question as to whether or not Spider-Man 2 is going to have a performance mode. That's not even a question. But it was always a question whether or not StarField would have a performance mode. That's a problem. You understand that now two first-party studios don't know how to use the box. Two of them don't know how to use the Xbox Series X. I don't even care about the Xbox Series S. I'm talking about the Xbox Series X. This game can't run at 60 frames per second. Why? Because it's got 1,000 planets that you could go to. How about we only go to 20 planets and you make it run well? How about we do something like that? Now here's the problem. You're going to listen to whatever it is that you want to hear. I'm not saying StarField is a bad game. StarField actually looks pretty good. Matter of fact, StarField actually looks amazing. It looks very ambitious with everything that they want to do with it. However, it running at 60 frames per second would make it way better. Not even close. Way better. Now, people are going to tell me, Doc, this is not a shooting game. This is not a first-person shooter. It could be a first-person shooter if you want it to be. But I get it. It's a Bethesda game. It's more about exploration and all that other stuff. But what hurts me is when I see at my Xbox brethren out here pretending like there's nothing wrong, that the flagship game, this is the game. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the game. StarField is the game that you have been hyping up since the beginning of this generation. You have said this is going to be huge. This is going to be the best game ever. Ha, PlayStation, you're not getting this. You have been hyping up this game infinitely. And it runs at the same frame rate that the Nintendo Switch runs its games. And you're okay with that. There's nothing wrong with it. Shout out to my boy TK9. Sorry, K9 OMG. Go check out his YouTube channel. He called me out yesterday on his podcast. He said, Doc, don't you dare play StarField with all the trash talking you have done for every game that has come out at 30 frames per second on the Xbox Series X. I talk trash about Gotham Knights, $70, 30 frames per second. I talk trash about Redfall. I refuse to play it on the Xbox Series X. I'm waiting for that patch, okay? I talk trash about pretty much every single game. I did, however, play a Plague Tale Requiem at 30 frames, and from time to time I will switch to the VRR mode and play it at 40 frames per second. And I enjoyed that game. So it's not that I can't enjoy a game at 30 frames per second. But it's why do I have to accept it? Especially when it's coming from a first-party studio. First-party studios, you should have all of the tools. You should have all of it. Now, I heard what Todd Howard said. He said that he didn't want us to have to sacrifice the fidelity. Well, give us the choice. Give us the choice. If it's really that much better in fidelity mode, people will play it in fidelity mode. I don't understand why that's a difficult concept. If you said that it can run above 30, but you wanted to keep it there for the headspace and then give us the unlocked mode. Let us choose. Why not? Then something else that was very, very, very sleazy about the whole way this was announced, is that there was an hour-long direct for StarField, and it wasn't mentioned there. They waited till after the show to then let us know that it was 30 frames per second. Redfall was supposed to be 60 frames per second from the get-go, hence why it was on the box. That wasn't either. Believe them. Believe who they are. Believe who they are. Xbox Series X is not the most powerful console. The showcase, listen, the showcase was good. StarField looks great, but you can still call out the BS that you see. StarField would be better at 60 frames. Every game would be better. There's not a single game that's better at 30 frames. Not a single game. Tears of the Kingdom would be better at 60 frames. Breath of the Wild would be better at 60 frames. If you're playing the Plague Tale Requiem now at 60 frames, you're going to have a better experience than I did at 30 frames. You will. Believe them. Believe Xbox. Believe Microsoft with what they're showing you when you have that controller in your hand. And what they're showing me is they don't know how to manage their first party studios. Relax. It's not up to you to prove me wrong. It's up to them. You can say whatever you want to say. You can make whatever excuses you want. I don't care. I don't care. Once I'm actually playing the game, that's when I'll be satisfied. The same way I don't care what anybody says about Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is great. Halo Infinite is great. Replay value through the roof. I don't care what anybody says. I'm experiencing the game in my hands. Both the campaign and the multiplayer, I'm having an amazing time with Halo Infinite. You see how I keep the same energy? I don't care what you have to say. I care about my experience. And I'm not going to experience a first-person shooter at 30 frames per second. So now the question is this. TK called me out. Do I play StarField day one at 30 frames per second when this is supposed to be Xbox's saving grace in the game that's supposed to be above everything else? I think I do. And I just accept that Xbox is inferior. I just accept that for whatever reason, I prefer the inferior product. And if that hurts your feelings, go talk to Microsoft. They're the ones that got to prove me wrong. I know you don't question whether or not Spider-Man 2 is going to run at 60 frames per second. It's not the same type of game. It doesn't matter if it's not the same type of game. It's a first party. What first party studio game from Sony is not running at 60 frames? We out. Peace.